Nice to be here on this special day in time. Thank you.
I'm going to start with your professional aspects because I don't want you to get all emotional before we get to the nitty-gritty of our discussion. I know you've been working on some research that really was taking a litmus test, if you can, is what people think and feel not only about democracy in the country but also about Dr. Madiba. What can you tell us?
Yes, it's fascinating research, and it was done in these last few months after we had the big shock of the illness mid-year, and things that calmed down a little bit, and then we went in nationwide focus group research and hear these wonderful voices, and we didn't even specifically have to ask about Tata Mandela. People were just so spontaneous, and it was so heartfelt, this appreciation they have for this founder of democracy. So many, and especially young people, were just thanking him for liberating them to lead a life of non-racialism. Not perfect yet. Many of their memories of their parents or grandparents are still so harsh, but they themselves feel liberated and thank him. And across party backgrounds, across racial backgrounds, celebrating this personality that brought this freedom into their lives. And, they credit him for so much to what has been going right in South Africa. Of course, they use him as benchmark, and that's very difficult for post-Mandela presidents and ANC leaders. They use him as benchmarks to compare their current experiences, and sometimes they're a bit confused, wondering, now what exactly has happened to the Mandela Mandate? But they have clarity in their minds. I think that he was a large part of what had been going right in South Africa in the last 2 years. And some wonderful voice would say, we and Tata Mandela did it.
I know that the talk of Dr. Madiba perhaps was a byproduct of what you were trying to achieve. What was the focus of the research initially, and how was it conducted? How many people were involved, etc.?
Yes. It was a wonderful nationwide project, and by chance Freedom House sponsored it. It was quite an expensive project because we did focus group discussions, qualitative form of research, across the country, and around 30 groups, a great number for this kind of research. We had a pile of transcriptions that high, all the wonderful quotations we had to go through, and synthesize a report, which will be released, by the way, next week, and looking at how people experience the 20 years of democracy, and seeing, they obviously recognize the journey is not over by any stretch of the imagination, but I have so much celebration and thankfulness for the human rights that have been realized. Human rights was the central thrust of the research, saying that they live a better life. They compare it with what was before, and problems, warts and all, this life for them is better, and very important, they have hope that current government, or they adore the ANC. Other parties are also in the picture, but the thrust is they really adore the ANC, and Nelson Mandela obviously had a big impact on that. And they still hope and trust that this ANC can take things forward, or maybe an improved current ANC can take things forward. They're also obviously very critical of many aspects of current government, but they haven't given up hope.
You spoke of the Mandela Mandate, but I want to take a look at the Madiba magic now, his presence in a room and how he's able just to get the attention of so many, but turn it and turn it towards the person that they're speaking to. You met him. What was that like?
That was absolutely a highlight of a period. I first met him when, in the early 1990s, in period leading up to the 1994 election, I was a part of a team of people. We were doing research, which also were shared with the ANC on the state of democracy, how people are feeling, how much support could the ANC possibly get in that 1994 election. And those were eye-openers. And we did briefings to senior ANC structures sharing much of this research. And that was an experience to be in there. Now, there was also a bit of a tension between the rest of the ANC and this icon, which individualized the ANC, but it was a collective movement. And one could see through becoming to terms with this research, how they also came to terms that this person is the face, would be the face of the 1994 election campaign, that he stood out and that they could benefit from it. he, as leader, his rankings were even higher than what the ANC got. And that is the ideal situation in an election campaign, that the leader should further pull up the ANC as party organization. And he was in that meeting and he would ask questions, sometimes not very knowledgeable about quantitative survey research, but he was so keen to learn. And it was very interesting how the dynamic in that room worked. So it was a dual kind of dynamic, both to us as researchers and between him and the rest of the ANC audience.
I want to talk more about the research and some of the findings in just a moment, but I wanted to take a look at this. You spoke about the collective of the ANC, and someone who was very active also in the struggle, of course, is President Jacob Zuma. He has now called former President Nelson Mandela one of a kind, and that was during his speech at the memorial service at FNB Stadium. Let's remind ourselves about what he said.